There's something there, but it's the thing I keep thinking about is this old magazine Details used to have a thing in the back that was Canadian or gay or something, or is European or gay.
I like that.
And it always like made me laugh, you know. And I think it's things like that are funny, and I often think it's funny when when we play videos they can't hear sound. I got a text, but I know we keep the sound low intentionally because sometimes it gets us pulled. Or something.
Exactly.
But we'll try and work on that. But it's we're dealing with chemotherapy right now, so we have bigger fish to fry.
You want to scratch the ticket, or it's just about one?
Yeah, sure. Got Skankfest tomorrow.
Awesome.
Doing
Kumia first, right?
Well, we're doing Kumia at Skankfest.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
2 p.m. And then
you're on at like 6.
I'm gonna hang out for a little while and go on. I think I'm gonna hang out with Blind Mike for a little while. You know, Blind Mike.
I only.
I was talking to him and hang out with him for a little bit. He's hanging out with Kirk Minahan.
Oh yeah, Minahan's on. I forgot about that. Minahan's on Barstool now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think Blind Mike's from Barstool, but he's got his own thing going now.
Yeah.
I'm doing I don't know who I'm on Kumia with. I imagine Lewis will be there. But I think my stand-up showcase is at the exact same time as the first live Legion of Skanks podcasts. So I'm like, I don't think a lot of people are going to be coming to my showcase when the Legion of Skanks are doing a live podcast at the exact same time, you know?
That's an amazing event that they have.
Well, it's amazing how massive it is, and it's only run by about 3 people. And not the Legion of Skanks. I think
legitimately 3 people.
They have, I don't want to give out their names because I know their emails are like secret, but it's like, there's producers.
Yeah.
And it's a big event. And I'm actually really proud to be on it because I don't know how, I think this is the 4th year they've been doing it.
Something like
3rd
that.
or 4th year. And I remember the first year they did it, I think I was still, it was something else. It was really small. And it was at a few different bars in New York. And I remember being kind of like in the conversation and being like, oh, that's cool that they're doing that. Like comedy festivals suck and like they're doing a fun, like their version of it.
Yeah.
And then it was cool to see it the next year. It got a little bigger, but now it's like,
it's a massive event.
It's a real thing.
That schedule that you put up, that I was blown away by.
Yeah, I was proud. I was like proud to be on it. I was like, oh my God, like look at these
when you
names.
look at all the yeah, exactly.
I'm like, look at like the company I'm in, you know?
I know.
I was like, this is an honor. And first of all, the honors never stop. It was like Keith called me from the Kumia show and he's like, do you want to co-host with Ann on Skankfest? And they want you and the Skanks are happier. I'm like, what the fuck? Like,
jeez.
I was like,
yes.
That's
gonna make you feel good.
Yeah. And,
that's awesome.
And I was like, yeah, I'm super psyched to do it. Because it was one of those things months, you know, a month or 2 ago. I was like, well, they ever asked me to do Skankfest. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, I'm friends with those guys. And like, well, my friends are doing it. And like, it was like one of the only times I was like, I just live in Boston. No one knows I do anything, you know? And then, typical of my career.
Yeah. You never do that to yourself either. That's interesting.
Well, it's just a little like, just like a little, you know?
I like it.
I was kind of like, I feel like I belong at Skankfest, kind of. I'm like a skank. And what was also funny was I forgot to tell my chick I was doing it. And she was at my show with me last weekend. And I'm walking up on stage and the host was like, this next comedian, you can see him next week at Skankfest, New York. And I'm like, damn. Oh yeah, my girlfriend. Like, she's in the crowd. She just found out I'm going to Skankfest. She doesn't know what that is, and it sounds. But I love my chick. She's funny, you know. She goes, She said last night. She's wise. She's wising up. She goes, hey, I'm walking out the door last night. She goes, your hat is making your bald spot look big. She goes, make sure you take care of that. You know, she goes, you know, you're going to Skankfest next week. She's like, you know, they let you hear that shit. I was like, you're picking up quick,
dude,
girl.
That's so funny. Like, you're always on the ball, but it would not hurt you to have someone just, like, checking your work a little bit.
Yeah. I was like, thanks, girl. I was like, you know my fan base. Because they will just... There were 30 people on Twitter talking about my bald spot after I did.
Really?
Well, first of all, it's kind of not...
The lights fuck it up.
It's there. It's like this big. It's always been there. May have gotten a little bit bigger, but it's definitely one of those things where like when I don't get a haircut and my hair is long, it looks a lot bigger. And under the lights of the Kumia show, it like looks really big. Like I saw it, I was like, that like looks like way bigger than it is.
Yeah.
And anyway, I was like, whatever. But it was so funny that like because there's so much footage of me without it when the lights aren't like that.
And now they're like, what the hell?
So people were kind of like, what's up with Will's hair situation? It's become a little bit of a thing. And I'm like, it's real. I'm fine with losing a little bit. But but what's weird about it is, like, I took a picture from inside my car. I'm like, there you go. It's like, it's not really a bald spot there.
Yeah.
But she's getting the picture now of the particular type of fans that like Kumia has and the Skanks have. And she's
very
noticed,
devoted, but super willing to rip you
and
apart.
like she knows like when we're in public, like if a dude like in a jean jacket like covered in patches is like lingering around, she probably wants to say what's up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like the dirty or punkish kind of.
Your people.
My peeps. Doug Stanhope used to have a funny joke about how he was like walking to a gig.
I love that.
And he was like, oh, he was freaked out. He's like, I'm in a terrible neighborhood. And he realized it was just his own fans.
He crossed the street. He saw like they were waiting for his show.
Yeah. It's so typical. It's so typical of being. But I mean, it's going to be weird. It's going to be interesting. I always, Kumia is so, we'll do the show. It'll be fun. Like, come, it's going to be good to have you.
Yeah.
But then I'll be sitting there with like Norton and like fucking all these heavy hitters.
Yeah.
You know? Okay, Ant.
I want to rewatch your first time on it again. I haven't seen that for a while. I have to go back.
God, it's been a long time too.
know.
Someone was saying that the other day. They're like, wow, you've been like a regular for years. I'm like, wow.
2 years, at
Couple
least,
years.
Right? Something like that.
Yeah, I mean, it's so weird how casual it is now. It's
Yeah, that's what I want to see. I want to see if I can like recognize your nervousness.
I know. I think of it sometimes when I do a joke that bombs. I'm like, I never would have had even the courage to like take the risk.
Yeah, you would have just left.
Yeah, I don't even mind bombing.
Yeah, you can't though. You have like they're so fast. Everyone.
Yeah, and you
starts on
bomb
the show.
like that's just people bomb. You know.
Yeah.
It's actually not as bad. There, you know, the thing you don't want to get into is being you don't want to get that thing of the guy who bombs all the time.
Yeah.
Or like the guy who like you just don't want to get that like. It's a rare thing where you become like a punching bag. I think.
Yeah, but it's possible.
It's always possible. I think everyone always knows it's always possible. That's why we're all like on our toes all the time. But it's like, those you could become like and then that could be like it could take years to get out of that.
Yeah.
But when you're not one of those guys, you can kind of get away with one once in a while, and you'll get a look like Brennan. I bombed hard on Brennan's. Like with a joke. I had just done a good one and there was kind of like no one was saying anything. So I was like, it was about Ray Charles. Like I just done some good Ray Charles jokes and then no one was saying anything. And I was like, and also I like threw it in at the last time. I was like, I want to throw something at him and see if he caught it, you know? And Brennan just goes, yeah. He looked me dead in my eyes, like to my soul, and went like, yeah, we both know like that was shit.
With his like amazing shark eyes.
Dude. They're real, man.
You can see it.
I took it as a personal challenge. I'm like, I'm not breaking eye contact with you, but this is like staring into the sun.
Yeah.
He is piercing.
I love him so much.
Like, I do too. Makes me laugh.
I love
hard.
everything that's been going on. Like people have been bitching about, like, just get it over with. I've loved every second of it.
He makes me laugh hard. Even when I was on his show, I laughed so hard. But then I listened yesterday coming back from Maine. I listened to him like kind of apologizing to going on Kumia's show.
Yeah.
Like, listen, that's what I do. Like, it was just so fucking funny, you know.
And you can tell Kumia loves him too. So that was a good little.
Well, Kumia just likes funny people. That's the beauty of comedians, I think, too. Is like you can get all this, you get all this Twitter and all this crap, but just now you got Kumia and Brennan on camera together.
Yeah,
it's like they're not gonna fucking.
Did you see?
None of his beefs were with Kumia anyway. It's all with money stuff.
Yeah, He had good points too when I listened to it, but
Yeah, I understand though. It's
but like Kumia said, he's like, not to make this a whole Kumia show, but he was like, you do a show called Burning Bridges.
Yeah.
Like we get it. Like,
Kumi also goes, "You're the second highest paid person on this network next to me."
Yeah.
I was like, "Oh, that's big news."
Yeah.
That's a reveal.
And then he said, he was like, what, by minute?
Yeah, because he only does an hour a week, which is also true. But but a lot of people over there, I think, I mean, that's what just made me laugh. I go like, "What do you want, dude? Like, no one's getting paid to do podcast. Like, you're on one of like 3 places on earth where you're getting like a weekly paycheck to do a podcast." And he does this podcast outside of that too. That's the other thing Kumia does is like he never goes, "You can't do other stuff."
Yeah, he doesn't completely own you. Like which
You could do 6 days a week of your own thing in one day on Kumia's network, and he'd be okay with that.
That's good. That's how it should be.
Yeah, but no one else is offering that, you know? So it's kind of like, I remember thinking, there's no way. Because I was there. I was like, what the fuck? Everything seems like it works really well. But you could feel it. Like I remember we were off the air and I said to Brian, like, like they were leaving. I was like, good luck with like not drinking, you know?
Yeah.
And there was this like big pregnant pause like in the air, like no one even knows if they're gonna be here next week.
Wow.
You know? And I was kind of like, I was just like, man, this is crazy, you know? It's just weird. Rob Saul was hanging out with me too from the Rob Saul show.
Yeah.
And I get this feeling all the time when I'm at the Kumia Studios is like it feels like you're in it's like when you're a kid and you imagine going to like Warner Brothers and like there goes Bugs Bunny and there goes fucking Daffy and like it's just characters in a room. Like that's what it feels like sometimes.
It definitely does. It has to.
You just go, there's Kumia talking about Kumia things, and there's Keith the cop eating a salad. You know? And you're just like,
Just
for
how
someone
I
who's
imagined
grew
it.
up being a fan of that world, it's always crazy to me.
It still blows my mind that you're involved with them.
It blows my mind too. Or when Brennan like, let's go bowling. You know what I mean? I'm like, I can't even believe it. You know, it makes me laugh so hard, and it's cool, man. I love Compound Media. I love everyone over there, and
I just love that they're doing it too. I love all the shows, but I just love that exists.
yeah. And I think they were like, I think like everybody. Everyone got excited about politics there for a while, like worldwide.
Yeah.
But I think the network is more interesting when it's not really political.
It's a legitimate network now.
Because I listen to a lot of the other shows too. Like I listen to Good Morning with Bill Schultz. I know fucking Brennan hates it, but I like that to me is like a great. I like light shit, and when I'm doing light shit.
Yeah. And it's a perfect parody of those morning shows too. So it's
Joanne is very funny too, and I listened to Brennan's show, obviously. What was the other one? I was listening, Gino and Aaron's show.
That's
wacky.
That's like my low key favorite one.
Really? I think that's one of the most popular shows.
Oh, is it? Yeah.
I think. I don't know.
Yeah.
Just from the fans and stuff.
Yeah. It's so his characters fucking destroy me sometimes.
Yeah. They're both funny dudes.
Yeah.
And nice guys too. But yeah, I think that's cool, like what they do over there. It's just funny. Sometimes the fans, though, I think they can be a little bit like they don't understand how like
it had a very like a wrestling vibe to me. How the fans reacted to it. Like it was like they took sides immediately.
Yeah, I remember people saying
it was crazy.
I love when Brennan goes on the radio show. He's like, some people are gonna cancel their subscription thing. Kumia goes, yeah, I saw 3 or 4 of those. But it's like, that's a funny thing. I'm like, but I also kind of get it. It's fun to get excited about that and stuff. Yeah. But I just think people don't understand like that when Brennan says he's going to quit, it's not just like quitting, your job. It's like, it's different. He's got there's whole relationships involved, and there's money attached, and he's got kids, and he's got.
That was his line.
And Brennan, I think, also has to. This is totally me from being a fan of his from only a few years. I mean, I only really discovered him when he was going on the Opie and Jim show and trashing
same
people.
with me.
But I think I think in the way a lot of comedians, and this is totally my guess, but I think in the way a lot of comedians are like, fuck, like I haven't done a bit or I haven't done a special. I haven't had something go viral. Da, da, da. I think Brennan's like, I'm Brennan. I need to have a fucking beef like once in a while or else I'm not Kevin Brennan.
I like it.
Right?
And it's just his personality.
It's his personality
Yeah.
But I was kind of, that was the vibe I got. I remember being like, I was like, who's Bill? Like, why are you after Bill Schultz, you know? But I think that's I think that's such an Irish guy thing to be like, he's got 4 days, I got 2, fuck him.
He's not a real comedian.
Yeah, he's not a real comedian, I got 4, like, you know? So then I'm like, and that's when I'm like, I'm all in on Kevin Brennan because I just love this guy.
It. Yeah.
Because that's how we all are.
Yeah.
And that's what I said to him on the show. I was like, the reason why comedians love Kevin Brennan is because, like, he just lets out what we're all trying to squash.
Yeah.
He's like, take the wheel.
Yeah.
Fucking little, like, bitter guy inside.
I'm on his side too because you're better off to do that. It's you're fucking so much better.
It's just he's so much more entertaining than most.
I love it.
I mean, honest to God, I'm putting myself down here, but I'd rather listen to his podcast than mine than hypothetically. I mean, I know there's a place for mine and there's a place for a guy like pontificating about things, but I love listening to him just be mad about shit. Yeah. I remember that he was doing a thing for a while on his other podcast, MLC, where he was talking about like how he was just gonna work at Dunkin' Donuts. It was like, so I'm just gonna fucking work at Dunkin' Donuts. You know what? Why not? Same place every day. I'd probably make the same money. Like a couple years, I'd be a manager.
Haven't you felt like that too? Though?
I feel like that all the time. Don't I say shit like that to you all the time? But I was like right on it. I'm like, Kevin, and this is before I'd ever met him. I was just like, I want you to please just work at Dunkin' Donuts for like 4 days. Yeah. And tell us what it's like. Yeah. You know?
Let them like shoot video and everything. I want to see that.
But it is sometimes in comedy at every level. You someone hands you a check for like $300 and you're like, why didn't I just fucking work at McDonald's? Yeah. At least I wouldn't have to put up with anything. Yeah. But it's
we need more hash browns, Noonan.
Yeah, you know. I'm out of here. Fuck Bill Schultz. But yeah, it was cool, and I'm happy he's back, so I can go back and do the show.
I think Brian's gonna be back too. I think he said that he was doing a private event or something, so he wasn't on the last show. But I
listened to him walking off of MLC too.
Yeah.
I chalked it up to he's a week off of alcohol. I thought when he was telling me, "Oh yeah, I'm on day 4. I've quit. I used to drink all this. I'm on day 4, and we're sitting there doing this show together." I'm like, you probably should just like be alone for a month.
I mean,
or be away from all this.
Yeah.
For a month.
I mean, you'd know better than me, but I think everything's different for everybody too.
Everything is different for everyone, but I think it's difficult to
be in a stressful environment.
Arguments and
I agree.
Be put like that. So I mean, when I was listening to that, I actually was just like, oh, he just snapped. He was gonna snap.
It was too much.
It was too much for a guy.
I get
very fragile in those first. I mean, there's a reason why he was drinking 16 glasses of rosé a day. It's like,
holy shit, I didn't realize that.
Wasn't
doing
didn't
good.
want to deal with shit.
Yeah, he wasn't doing good.
You know, not doing good. So then now you're doing well, you're gutting it out, but it's like you're gonna get upset. You know,
yeah,
I didn't blame him for that.
No,
and I actually don't think Brennan did either. He was like, okay, go. Like you could tell even he was like, all right, he made it entertaining, but I think he was like, you'll be back. Because that guy is funny. He fucking kills me.
Especially both of us love puns. He's amazing.
Oh, we both love puns. He got me on one when I was on the show. He said one and I was like, yeah. And then and then I was like, you don't need booze to be funny, Brian. I really like the guy. He actually offered me sober. He was like, if you ever need a place to stay, you can stay with me.
Oh, wow.
Isn't that amazing?
It's very nice.
Nice guy.
That's awesome.
Probably didn't want me sharing that with this turned into like a Kevin Brennan fan cast, but
that's all right.
That's all right. Want to do a scratchy? Let's do it. I got another Corvette one this week.
All right. Vroom vroom.
Vroom vroom. I was thinking cuz you can win a Corvette Stingray. You ever want to ever heard anyone winning a car off a scratch ticket before?
No.
First number is 19.
Good age.
Good age. Youngest chick I ever. Chemo or emo? Focus on that if you hate me. 1911. Oh, this Sunday I'm doing the Black Rose. They're starting comedy there. in Faneuil Hall. First time. I'll be the
That's cool.
first comic in like 10 years to do the Black Rose. So I'm
That's
excited.
awesome.
So come on
Boston's
out.
got a lot of comedy. It's coming
Dude,
back.
that was
more and more
I was
places.
before the show. I was saying to Paul, like, I drove 3 hours for a gig, and I was like, man, I don't do this that much anymore because there's so much comedy in the immediate area. I don't know.
You got Capo Monday, this Monday?
Yep.
Awesome.
Always a capo. No
Capo's a fun time.
capo breaks coming up. 19, 11, 14, 13. Ooh, I love these numbers, but I don't think we won. 19, 11, 14. So you know what's really dumb is going for the Corvette. You never
That's
want
how they get you,
never
yeah.
want to go for like gimmick tickets because
yeah.
they're like, yeah, tell these dummies they can win a Stingray. They'll buy these all day and
It's
night.
a red car, catches your eye.
Yeah, like literally they got me. I'm like, win a Corvette. 19, 11. Enter second chance drawings. What? So we didn't win.
We will rise again.
We will. Just like the South. Just like my Southern dentist.
It's like the Celtics, hopefully. We'll say that for next week.
Say that for next week. You know, we could have Schultz on to do that because he's fucking he's all about the NBA.
Yeah.
And he's got hot takes and he wouldn't mind. Like he would jump at the opportunity to yell at me about the Celtics on here. So maybe we could set that up sometime soon.
That'd be fun.
He's also on Skankfest. So.
He's just on Rogan with Charlemagne.
With Charlemagne.
God, it was a great episode. I watched
You know,
it.
when we were on, when I was on Burn Brennan talked about how he ghosts Louis C.K. on text because sometimes he's like, I just don't want to fucking talk to him. I'm like, there was a time
Good,
where
all right, Brendan.
there was a time where Schultz texted me from a club and he's like, hey, me and Charlemagne are hanging out, want to come? And I was like, I'm good.
The worst.
I was like at home smoking weed and I was like, I'm all right. I immediately thought of myself like being like, hey, Charlemagne, like I'm Will, like let's hang out with your fans. You know, I was just like, I put myself there and I was like, I'm going to stay here.
Yeah.
But then I immediately was like, this is why I'm not a success in this business. Like, this is why I'm not bigger because I'd rather just have a nice quiet night than go clubbing with Charlemagne.
How fun would that have been, too?
It probably would have been cool.
You're not going to do that more than once. I think you should have done it. Let's go back in time,
I
Will.
know.
Reset.
I remember I was with Pat, I think, and I was like, you want to go hang out with these two really famous fucks? But it was one of those, I think I was like in a depression too. It was definitely in it because normally I would go do stuff like that. But it was like, and it was late. But here's the thing though, hanging out with famous people is not fun. Like,
No, but it's
Schultz is fun because like he's like an actual friend of mine and
exactly.
he's not that famous. But like hanging out with like famous people like Hannibal Buress or something,
A little weird.
it's just like you're just there, man.
Yeah.
You know? And then it's like there's a lot of standing around with your hands in your pockets, looking at your feet.
Try not to be too awkward.
Try not to be, you know, you got to let your boy do his thing, but at the same time, you're kind of like, we're not here to do this.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I remember as a kid, I went up to Mark Wahlberg to say hello, and I watched his whole entourage be like, oh. Now I get it when I'm in entourages.
Yeah. When you're...
All right, what do you do? You have something to do today, right?
That's a little work.
A little worky
nothing
work.
Crazy.
Well, thanks for listening, everybody. Peace out.
All right, I'm pressing the wrong buttons. Here we go.